of symbol, some kind of subliminal message? I mean, I do have some stretch marks on my booty. I do have some junk in the trunk.
Okay guys, let's figure out the i7-7700 situation in 2024. Starting off with Black Myth Wukong, and this was one of those games where the GPU was actually bottlenecking here. On 1080p medium settings, the i7 perfectly handled the load and returned these benchmark results. Forza 5 on 1080p Ultra preset was good. And actually there was a rare instance here where the CPU and the GPU were both utilized at around 90%, trying their best to provide as much FPS as possible. Because yeah, in benchmarking it usually is like GPU trying its best to put together frames and the CPU is just chilling. Okay, but for Valorant we're finally starting to see some heavy CPU bottlenecking. This thing is not chilling in this case, especially when the game was running on highest settings, because there were constant micro stuttering throughout. But when I dropped the settings to 1080p low, everything smoothed out and I got these benchmark results, which were definitely bottlenecked by the i7. Yeah, and I say this because when you compare these benchmark results to like i5-12400F paired with Vega 64, which is a weaker graphics card, look at the difference. Crazy, right? CS2 was a bit of a letdown. Why? Well, on the first glance, 200 FPS on average on the benchmark map is respectable for sure, even on 1080p low settings, because Valorant felt great on low settings. But when I entered a deathmatch game to film some footage, the FPS there actually hovered around 130, sometimes even as low as 90-100, and it is enough for sure, but knowing what basic 12th gen i5s are capable of, or the cheapest AM5 Ryzens, I just can't think differently other than this CPU being outdated a bit. Until I fired up Fortnite. I was honestly blown away by the optimization of that game, even on 1080p medium preset. What?
Run that back.
Preset, we got impressive results and only a couple of micro stutters here and there, which do not make the game unplayable in any shape or form. After that, I thought we'll have a similar situation on Cyberpunk, where the 5700 XT would be the tilt. The dump trucks. Okay, but I thought that the RX 5700 XT would be the thing holding our i7 back, but yep, on 1080p medium settings we got bottlenecked pretty good here, but the gaming experience was good nevertheless, just to be clear. Okay, Call of Duty Warzone experience was also good on 1080p. On basic settings preset I got these benchmark results, although clearly the i7-7700 was bottlenecking hard here. And for the old time's sake I threw in GTA 5, and even there, using a high settings preset, the i7 managed to hold us back, but the gaming experience once again was good. So don't think that when I'm saying that some component bottlenecked it made the gaming experience bad or anything. But basically, here's the situation in a nutshell. In 2024, the i7-7700 these days is even too weak for a lower mid-range graphics card like the RTX 3060 or the RX 5700 XT we've tested it today with. So I don't really understand why it brings the same money as a used Ryzen 5 3600 or the i3 12100F, but as you saw in the benchmark tests, it definitely performs worse than them. So what do? Well, if you currently have a 6th or 7th gen processor, thus you watching this video, the only case it makes sense for you to upgrade is if your upgrade budget is strictly limited to 50 euros, then get the i7. But keep in mind that for around 300 euros, you can get yourself a full AM5 platform with DDR5, which definitely sounds like a nice upgrade at the moment. Or for 150 to 200, you can get an i5-12400F or Ryzen 5 5600 with a motherboard, as long as you can sell whatever you have for around 50 to 70 euros. Anyways, enough yapping, thank you for watching. Cheap bastard out.